So we're about 10-15 minutes away from Skipton in the Yorkshire Dales, and this is the River Aire flowing up here. Actually just heads up towards Malham up that way, comes out of a limestone cliff face basically. It's a little bit gloomy. About 20 past 9. Doesn't take long to get here, about half an hour to get here. Yeah. So we're just coming in on the road into the village of Malham, and you can see how it's settled amongst the kind of quite steep hills and things around it, and all the various kind of limestone levels where the valley's been cut into by rivers and all that sort of thing. Of rock. So people do park along this road for free to then go and look at Malham Cove, because you don't want to pay in the car park up there. So there's tons of space here, but we're not going to go to Malham Cove. We're going to go and have a look at Janet's Foss instead, which is just around the corner. There's not many people here yet. Sometimes in the summer you come and all this road's full of cars, and then they go and pay in the National Park Centre there, the car park there. Looks like they're doing some renovation works on the centre itself. Methodist chapel there, and this is the little village. So we're going to turn right over this bridge here instead of going, so if you go left, that takes you on the road that goes past Malham Cove. See some school kids there have come to see it, so it's like the source of the River Aire basically. Malham Tarn and all of it there, but we're going to just head up this way. You can see it there, the stream that comes out of, it's down there, yeah, that's the stream that comes out of Malham Cove. There's a youth hostel up here as well. Okay, I need to just look at the map. Yeah, brilliant little spot here, parking up for free instead of where Malham, where the tourist hotspot is. Now up that way, you just walk along the path along the stream, follow the River Aire along, which is this, or like one of the tributaries I should say. So basically the River Aire comes out of Malham Cove over there, but then of course this is just equally just a tributary. You could call it the River Aire as well if you wanted to, which they join together down in Malham. You can see how clear the water is. So that comes out of Goredale Scar up there, so we're going to have a little walk up there. But we're just going to first of all go follow the stream down here and just have a little look at this like plunge pool waterfall called Janet's Foss, which is just where those trees are. So go and have a look at that. You can see the sort of setting that we're in here. So yeah, it's if you follow the steps up and head up over there, you can go to the top of Malham Cove and walk across the limestone up that way, and look down the sort of cliff edge and all that, and cut across Malham Cove there, instead of coming in from the bottom end, which most people do. So yeah, so it's Wednesday morning, about 25 past 9, 25th of February 2026. You can see the sun trying to come through there. So we've just come through the little gate there off the road, and we'll go and have a look at this waterfall and plunge pool. Nobody here, nice and quiet. Oh yes, so be careful not to slip on the rocks here going down. With the mud, it's a little bit slippy on these rocks. Oh, there we go, that's tremendous, isn't it? And nobody here, because I come back early in the morning and that, and it's brilliant, isn't it? Look at that, what a scene. Janet's Foss flows down a little gorge there after the waterfall. Foss is an old Scandinavian word for waterfall or Foss. Janet, the queen of the local fairies, lived in a cave behind the waterfall. That's like a little legend thing. So there we go. So there's nice, clear, lovely clear water. Huh? Yeah, well, yeah. There you go, look at that, eh? A lovely clear water. All the mossy banks and mossy trees all around it with the spray that comes off the waterfall and things. And obviously it's all shaded in this valley as well, so you get all the moss cover. You can see I'm just standing here on the edge. The flow is running down that way, and then you've got this big plunge pool here. I think in the summer when it's warm, people like to go have a swim and stuff in the pool. And it'll be lower flow. So there's a cave system here, you can see. So people go up to the cave, and I think people try and creep along that little edge there, and then go behind the waterfall. This is actually the top of the waterfall, Janet's Foss. So you can see it just plunging over, right over the top here. And walk to the top bit. So you see the stream comes out of here from Goredale Scar, which we'll go and have a look at in a second. And so you get to see the top of the waterfall there. Head up this, just walk up this now, Goredale Scar, to see the water coming out of the waterfalls and things down that kind of valley there. There's a little picnic area here. We're going to walk up to Goredale Scar, overhanging rocks and crashing waterfalls. 1.5 million years it's been formed, sort of at the glaciers and torrents of water and all that, cutting through the rock. Yeah, we're going to have a look at that. 1/2 mile, it's not far, is it? Just up there.
See that thing about the UFOs?
This is a spring coming out of the hillside here, quite vigorously flowing out there, whereas the main stream is flowing along that part there, and then they join together. But there's you think all this water here is just emerging from this one point, an underground spring. So that's it. So basically water's just coming out of the ground here at this point, and away you go. Quite, when you think it's not like a trickle, it's a lot of flow. See, just seemingly from nowhere, just that's it. It just shows you, yeah. So you got underground cave systems and things. We've got a tree just growing out of the rock face there, and then another one there, couple there. So we're gonna see how large this looks when we get around the corner. Just hear the noise of the water. There we go, look at that. So there we go. You can of course scramble up there and follow it up, but I will not do that. We'll just stick to the bottom here and look at it. A nice, I mean, look at the scene there. So you got how the stream and the ice and things have been able to cut this gorge into the rock. There's lots of water just dripping down here off the rock face. Huge boulders. I mean, these almost look like they've sort of freshly come down and cracked open as they've landed. So these off the rock up there. Guess when there's ice and stuff and it freeze thaw, that thing might happen a bit more. These do look like they've quite freshly come down, to be honest. From the up there, so be careful. I might go right into the middle here, keep away from the edge. So there's somewhere we could just walk right up those rocks and stuff and see a little trickly waterfall coming down. But because there's high flow at the minute, everywhere up there is all wet. Yes, you can see that rock has just fallen recently from up there. So we're just standing in the middle away from that, so we're not underneath any rocks. Walking back down now after that. And we'll go back to the car. Maybe have a breakfast sandwich or something and then decide what to do. Follow the route along to go to Malham Cove, which is there with the kind of rock face, the cliff face there, where the water comes out the bottom of that cliff face to start the river air. Can't quite see it. Down there. You can walk along a path down there. Dry stone walls and all that down there as well. Above Malham Cove now, a higher altitude than it, on top of it, and heading up to where you find Malham Tarn, which is kind of behind all this ruggedness. It's a very flat landscape with a peatland and a sort of big lake. Malham Tarn there, and all the peatland around it. Got a flat area. That's Malham Tarn. There are boardwalks and things where you can walk across the peatland there. Parked up in this little area here next to the boardwalk where you can walk along and round a little bit of the sort of peatlands. Of course, when you're down there you can't really see the lake, Malham Tarn, but it's the area, the flat area surrounding the lake, which is all sort of waterlogged, and there's a peat dome. Yeah, that tree's down there. So there used to be a Field Studies Council Centre up there, but it's all left empty now. Where you could, host field trips and have the accommodation and things on that one. So yeah, Tarn Moss is what we're going to walk across the boardwalk around. Glacial Lake formed at the end of the last ice age. Moss has basically enveloped the wall and enveloped the tree all along here. Everything's covered in that thick moss. I'm just going to go down this little path here and join the boardwalk. Mix of moss going around other things. See how the boardwalk has been smothered with the surrounding vegetation. Some wet woodlands in there. You can see the sort of the incline of the peat kind of going up that way, so there was like a gentle mound of peat built up in this area. About the dome I was mentioning, it's just a sort of a gradient up there, gentle gradient to make the dome 10 metres thick in the middle. Now past, we've come away from Malham Tarn and we're heading now over the top and then down. I'm going to follow the river Skirfair along. That'll join the river Wharf. Yeah, sort of got a cow in the road here. Yeah, we're quite high up now. There's a car coming in.
Ah, a good scratch. The sheep are lying down. Car was lying down. We're all lying down up here. Multicolored sheep, aren't they?
So we're just skirting along the edge of one of the tributaries, which is deeply incised into the river Skirfair, and then the Skirfair runs along there and joins the river Wharf. So these are all kind of tributary branches of the river Wharf, but it's very steep going down into that deeply incised valley down there. a sense of it from here, how steep the edges are.
Just to this side.
Eve's got white knuckles at the minute, just holding on to the door handle.
Oh, hey, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a bit murky now, unfortunately. Otherwise you would get fantastic views, but you can hopefully get a sense of the scale of the landscape and everything. Just gonna pull the boxes on, come on. Down we go. So from left to right is the Skirfair Valley, and this village at the bottom I think is called Armscliff. And then the Skirfair runs into the River Wharf, just near Kilsney Crag area. But yeah, on the very far right, that steep valley that we've been driving along the side of, that's another tributary just coming in. So yeah, it makes for a dramatic landscape in the Yorkshire Dales. And then of course you've got the dry stone walls as well, and all around on the hillsides and the valley bottoms. Here we are at Arncliffe, on the floodplain down here in the bottom. Confluence where these two streams come together. I'll go over the bridge here. Very old stone bridge. I think up here, where this in this village, I've seen people filming before for like TV series and things like that, film crews and all up here.
Oh yeah, they were coming towards us, weren't they? Going to tell us to check it out.
It's a little village. It's a village green, monuments and things.
Lambs that we've seen here in this field. Because there, their mums, to be honest.
Just a few days old, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then if you look on the right, we've got the big sort of crags, the cliffs and that coming down.
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah.
Not in that field. Oh, looks racing that one.
So we are now coming to the sort of end. You can see the river on the left, that's the Skirfair. And then straight ahead it joins the River Wharf, which is running from left to right. So to the left upstream there, he heads up towards Kettlewell and Buckton and out to shore and up that way. And then to the right, where the river flows downstream, you're going towards Grassington and places like that. So that's where we are now. We're kind of at the road will join the road that flows just immediately here at the junction. Left heads up to Buckton, right down to Grassington or Skipton. That's where we are, and we're about to come to the sort of steep cliffs here on the right called Kilsney Crag, where they do rock climbing and stuff as overhangs and things like that. So it's 13 miles to Skipton and 5 miles to Grassington this way. So now we're on the basically right next to the floodplain of the River Wharf. You can see on the right the cliffs. See if anybody's doing any rock climbing on it this morning. It's about 11:40 now, so just a little round trip. Didn't take very long. Stopped off a few places, walked a few places. It's still morning. You can see all the springs coming out there. Like, see that? All pouring out.
I haven't really seen it flow that much.
Yeah, just pouring out of these little springlets and outlets. Nobody climbing today, see, but they do go up there, and the tricky bits are because it overhangs. You've actually got to go like terrifying angles to climb over it.
No way, Mum.
And it's getting brighter in this direction as well. So that all of a sudden, the new barn that they've constructed there.
It's a bit of an eyesore.
Some of these fields in the summer, they put like wigwams and things in, and have like glamping and all that down here. So yeah, this is the little village of Kilsney. There's not much here, just a few houses and a little fishing pond. So on the right is the little fishing pond area, the lake and a cafe. See it there, like a duck pond thing. There's people fishing. Look on the side. Kilsney Park, it's called. Fishing Lakes Cafe Shop. Trout sales. We get a view of the River Wharf now. See a lot wider than the previous ones, I think, because the sort of tributaries have joined together. Stop and look at something like one of them trusted like that. So we're now heading down to Skipton. And what we'll do is we'll just sort of end this video now because it's getting a bit long, and then we'll you can watch, rejoin and watch the second part of the video, which is a little walk around Skipton itself. So I'll see you for that second part. Thanks very much.